So we're gonna keep it moving. So we kind of that's a great
Roll it
way,
on. Roll it on.
great
We
way of kind
rolling.
of the environment we grew up in, childhood, that kidnapping story. So much is
Wonderful.
going on again. That newspaper thing. Because I'll just give you a quick on mine. So I pick up the paper that day, and our routine was I'd go to your house and we go to the bus
Yeah.
stop
The
together.
bus was come
So
right in
what?
front of my
So
house. My
right.
house was the bus stop.
So I pick up the paper and I see a dad. I see no that first
You
first
seen the
story,
house.
the houses. I see your house and my house on the front page of the paper. I'm a little boy. I'm
I'm 5 years
no,
old.
no. You were about
I was in
7.
kindergarten. I
You
was
were
in Mrs.
kindergarten.
Stein
Yeah,
class.
yeah. You're right.
I was
Because
in
I'm in second
kindergarten.
grade, right?
And you
So
older than me. So.
right. So it doesn't hit me again as a kid. I'm not processing it until we got on the school bus that day, and it hit me. Everybody else got the same paper that we got.
I
Then
didn't get that.
you didn't. It didn't register to you that everybody
I
else.
didn't even know the house was on the paper.
Okay.
I didn't know none of that. I got on the bus, and every goddamn body on the bus was whispering and looking at
Right,
me
because their
and
parents-
pointing and
right.
shit, whispering at me. So I really didn't understand what was going
I
on. If
did,
it was
but
on
I
the
didn't.
paper.
Again,
Then when I got to recess, and she told me I was a little doper kid, get the fuck out of there. They didn't want no doper kids. And then it started to dawn on me because I kicked her in the back. And Mr. Callahan, she ran to the principal and told him that I had kicked her in the back. Mr. Callahan came and got me and asked me why I kicked her in the back. And I told him because she was calling me a little doper kid. And Mr. Callahan looked at her and called her parents and told her she was in trouble.
Yeah. So on that, and we will transition out of this. I look back though, the majority of those people at Southfield, they handled that situation very professionally. The teachers and the staff, because this was the
The
highest
teachers
profile.
did, but not the students.
Not well, of course, well, right. The teachers and the staff, given now as adults, we can look back how high profile that was.
Beautiful teachers.
They handled that like I don't care what their
See,
dads
and
did,
here's the problem.
what their dads did
Here's
for
the
a living.
problem that I run into today. I had all Jewish teachers, and I loved them all. So it's hard for me to hate Jewish people now. That's
course.
why I can't,
Of course.
because they somewhat raised me.
Facts.
So
we
it's
lived in
hard
it
to
was a
turn on
predominantly
somebody.
Jewish city.
So I just
we
have
grew up in.
to, I have to kind of be silent
Yeah.
because I have love for them in my heart. My lawyer, Steve Fishman, was a Jew, and I love him.
He's a Jew.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love Steve.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to say something bad about
I
them
mean, but
because that man that rescued me.
but you do realize now at our age, Eddie, most African Americans didn't grow up in predominantly Jewish environments like we did. So our comfort level and understanding is going to be. I'm saying because it's our life, so it's normal that we went to school and the majority on our holidays we got out for Hanukkah. And all of that kind of stuff.
They
but
went to
but
school.
that's not the experience.
They went to that every day after school.
But that's not the average African American's experience with the Jewish community. They have not had that kind of interaction, so they're not going to have that same comfort level or love and respect or admiration for the Jewish community that we might have because we know they're good people. I don't know what the Rothschilds and those people are doing, but I know the majority of the Jewish people that we grew up with were
My father's tightest friends was the Goldfires.
Chuck and Irving.
They're Jews.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
What you want me to say?
Rest in peace. All right. So, the big man goes away. Right after he goes away, 1976, April 1st, 1977, my father and the rest of your father's crew have to turn themselves in. This time, we are approaching adolescence. So, some crazy situations started to happen that led to, while our fathers were away, your introduction into this new phenomenon that was occurring known as Young Boys Incorporated. So you're still living in Southfield.
Right. But see, it wasn't a phenomenon to me.
But okay, but follow me, work with me here. You're living in Southfield.
Correct.
Your auntie
There you go.
is dating a gentleman. So how do you end up coming around this neighborhood, that Dexter Davison neighborhood, which was like the breeding ground where this YBI thing started? What is the situations how do you end up very soon asking me to give you rides over to Dexter and Davison area.
Tracy Sledge.
Well,
God rest her soul.
God rest her soul. But how's that all work out? How do you even
Tracy,
how do you come in contact with this
let me
gentleman
give
named?
you, Tracy was going with my Aunt Lisa.
Okay.
And for the last 4 years of my father's sentence, I hung with Tracy and Lisa every weekend.
Okay.
We did Ford, Wyoming. We did all the drive-ins. We did the Bel Air. We did the West Side. Tracy was my mentor while my father was in jail.
Okay.
And somehow he was a young boy. So the first time Tracy came in contact with my sister, he had caught a case with Raymond Peoples.
You mean with your auntie?
With my auntie sitting on the front porch at my grandmother's house.
Okay.
Raymond Peoples, Tracy had caught a case with him because he was a slash chauffeur bodyguard.
Okay.
And there was a factory across the street from my grandmother. And Tracy had got a job there. And Tracy started talking to my Aunt Lisa. And the rest is history.
But that's what we gotta unpack that history. So,
Okay.
So
he starts to talk to my Aunt Lisa.
Okay.
Now we start to go to the drive-in and hang out.
And he's kind of your role model. Your pops is
like
away.
I say, all Ponderosa, but now all the steaks.
He's been a good big brother. He's been a good he's been a good big brother.
So now, Treacherous.
And who's
is
Treacherous?
My father's friend.
Who's Treacherous?
Treacherous is my father's friend who was basically in his crew.
Okay.
My father asked Treacherous for a 1/4 pound of weed.
Okay.
So it could be ballooned up and taken into the penitentiary.
At this time, your father is at Milan Federal Penitentiary?
Milan Federal Penitentiary.
Okay.
Treacherous thought he was talking about heroin.
Okay.
So he bought me heroin.
So instead of bringing you a 1/4 pound of marijuana, he brought
me heroin.
A quarter?
A quarter of heroin.
So for those that know, that's 7 grams.
And at that time, it was going for $1,500.
So he's giving you $1,500 value where, okay.
That's what Tracy told me. You know, it's probably a little high, but $1,500 is what I was getting for it.
So at the point at which Treacherous gives you this, the job instead of the marijuana,
right?
You don't say, "Hey, Treacherous, this ain't what Pops wants." You don't say that.
I don't say that.
Okay, you don't say that. You accept.
I accept it.
You accept it and let Treacherous go.
A schemer.
So Leah, let's get real with it. So you could have said, "Hey, Treacherous, I don't think this is what Pop wants."
Right.
You could have said that.
I could have said that.
But that ain't what you did.
That's not what I did.
What you do.
I'm a schemer.
Okay.
So I already know Tracy is a young boy.
Okay.
And I know they're getting money, they're selling drugs.
Okay.
So I take it to Tracy.
Okay.
All 7 grams.
Okay.
I say, Tracy, check this and tell me what it's worth.
Okay.
He come back and say it's worth $1,500.
Okay.
He said, I'll give you $1,500 after I get paid this week. I'm going to keep it. He started bagging it up and giving it to Maurice Bell, was Butch Jones' nephew. Maurice Bell is Butch Jones, who was running the Young Boys Incorporated.
All right.
And Maurice Bell was his nephew. Butch was his uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gene Hackman was Tracy's best friend.
Okay.
And he was running Maurice Bell's crew. He would pass out all the bundles to the runners every morning. They'd bring Gene 100 bundles, and he would be over passing them out, and niggas bring the money back. You know, everybody get $2 off each pack, tops.
Right.
And Gene was responsible for collecting 100 and passing the bundles out. So Tracy hooked up our shit and gave it to Gene in bundles, and he slipped it in with Maurice Bell shit. Mm-hmm. And what started happening was people who was buying our shit, they started coming back asking the runners, we don't want that shit, we want that shit. But all the shit is in the same color packs, but that Gene, we know it's 2 different bags. Gene quickly found out, like I was telling you, the customer's gonna tell you anything, so stay close to your clientele. The clientele is telling Gene the shit that we gave him is way better than the shit Maurice Bell and them is selling. Mm. They want that, but it's mixed in with his shit.
Okay.
73. The Detroit Free Press's front page proclaims, "Dope kingpins get away with it." They had names like Jesse James, Pretty Ricky, the Black Greek, and Mr. Clean. 2 of the 12 men listed as Detroit's biggest heroin dealers were next-door neighbors, and in reality, they were the 2 largest heroin dealers in Detroit, dwarfing the other men on the list. Eddie the Fat Man Jackson, charismatic son of a pool hall owner, and his chief lieutenant, Courtney the Field Marshal Brown, a former city bus driver, had built an empire on a par with men like Nicky Barnes and Frank Lucas of New York. But theirs was a very different and in many ways more sophisticated operation than Barnes and Lucas's, based on family ties and finesse more than murder and mayhem. They truly were the Motown Mafia, and the saga of Eddie Jackson, Courtney Brown, and their families stretched from the 1960s and into the present day. Starting in 1969, Eddie Jackson had built a tight inner circle of lieutenants like Charles Rudolph, Russell Clayton, Ronald 5-0 Garrett, Black Butch, and his right-hand man, Courtney Brown. All of them had grown up together in Detroit's old Black Bottom and Paradise Valley neighborhoods, forming an unbreakable foundation for their soon-to-come heroin empire.
In a city built on hustle, one man dared to dance with the devil. He was smooth, slick, and dangerous. This ain't no bedtime story. This is blood, bricks, and backstabs. This summer, loyalty is dead, and the streets are talking. The Devil is a Lie, a Big Boss Filmworks original. Narrated by the streets, told by the game, inspired by the truth.